Are you afraid of riding on wet roads? Maybe there are some dry roads that worry you. Is finding your balance a challenge? Are you getting up in years and the missus still wants you to take her for a ride and she wants a little more room for her stuff though? Maybe you already have a bike that you love, but you would love to try something a little different. Okay, not that different. Then this next machine is for you. Meet the Can-Am Spyder RT. You've seen them on the road, and you've wondered if it rides like a motorcycle or like a snowmobile. The answer is yes. Is it more stable than a trike? Also yes. Are they difficult to learn? No. In fact, I'm going to show you what you need to know before you go try one for yourself. This one is a 2020 Can-Am Spyder RT, as I mentioned, but they also make RT Limited, which will give you a throne for your queen. Now first, notice the comfortable seat and tell your passenger it can be heated as an option on this model, along with the hand grips. The rear floorboards are adjustable too, for a perfect mile-munching position. Notice the storage areas on this RT. Plenty of room for jackets and overnight bags, while storing helmets in the front trunk, or frunk as you'll be calling it. Ah, but how do they open? Well, turning the key in the proper position, you'll see that there's latches in front of the side cases that will then open. For the frunk, you will push in and turn the key the other direction while lifting the hood. How about gas? What if you need to fuel up on the test ride? Pushing in the key and turning will also unlock the seat, and the gas cap is under it. It takes 91 octane fuel, and preferably without alcohol, but it's not the end of the world if you simply put in premium. Alright, you want to know about the stereo. Well, you can pair your phone to it, or just use the radio. The Limited model with the rear seat back has speakers in it too, but this one just has 4 speakers in the front. There are also stereo controls on the left hand grip also. Now before we just take off on the Spyder RT, we should probably learn how to back it up. Here is where it is different from your motorcycle. Get on the Spyder, place your right foot on the brake. The brakes are linked and computer balanced, so there is only one brake control. Now turn the key, and the dash display will remind you to read the manual. To acknowledge that you have done so, you have to press the mode button. The mode button is next to the parking brake button. Press the brake button at your left hand to disengage the parking brake. Now you can flip the red run switch and press the starter. The Can-Am Spyder has a semi-automatic transmission, meaning you have to upshift with the left-hand paddle shifter, but it will downshift automatically, so no more stalling at green lights if you forgot to downshift. Like I've ever done that. Yeah, I actually have, like a few times. Well, you won't stall a Spyder. So let's put it in first gear with the paddle shifter, roll a few feet, and use the brake to stop. This will give you a feel for the brakes as well as the engine and how much control you do have on this. Okay, we've rolled a few feet. Now what about reverse? Well, press the reverse button, that big circular button, and then the downshift paddle. That's the trick. You're telling it that you want it to downshift into reverse. The indicated gear will change to a red R. Now just watch your mirrors and use the throttle to back it in slowly. use the plus paddle shifter to take it out of reverse. Easy, huh? Neutral is there too by using the downshift paddle. Now we're ready to go somewhere. Oh, see these slippery apples? Not a problem when you're on 3 wheels. So remember, your brake is at your right foot, and it does its job very well. Now we're riding with Marshall. Use the paddle shifter to go to the next gear. So, curves. How do we turn the bike? You just lean, right? Well, no, because it's not really a bike. It's more of a trike. You steer it with the bars. You can lean if you want to, but the majority of the work is by turning the bars. At first you'll tend to overcompensate a little until you get used to it. And it's a little more bouncy than a motorcycle, because you are essentially on 3 car tires with a fraction of the weight of a car, roughly 1,000 pounds plus you. Think of it more, though, as steering a car, and you'll do just fine. The stability control will make sure no tire ever leaves the ground, so rest assured you aren't going to flip this, unlike a traditional trike. So what is under the hood, so to speak? Well, it's a 1,330 cc, 3-cylinder, Rotax Ace engine. It's designed for a linear torque curve, meaning you have power from the low speeds to the high speeds. That gives you better control. There's no surprises here. It drives the rear wheel using 6 gears, plus neutral and reverse. It has the stability control that I mentioned to keep all 3 wheels on the ground, plus traction control for loose surfaces, plus dynamic power steering, so it's not very hard at all to turn, ABS brakes, and an economy mode for saving fuel on those long trips when you're not sure where that next gas station is going to be. It has 115 horsepower, which is perfectly adequate for going wherever you point it, and 96 foot-pounds of torque. Some of you are saying, well, I have more than that in my motorcycle. Well, that's great, but this machine isn't about drag racing down the strip. This machine is for putting many, many miles between home and somewhere more interesting. And with the windshield that adjusts on the fly with your left-hand controls and your heated seat, you'll be in charge of your comfort. So what do you think? It's really not that hard, right? In fact, once you try it, they're really rather fun, in a very different way than a motorcycle. Are you ready to try one? Because this Can-Am dealer is in Fort Collins, Colorado. Northern Colorado Power Sports would love to meet you. That said, I'm just going to keep riding this thing, so talk to you all later.